Logan Hill, 28 years old, recruited from Coburg in the VFL. Yeah, so Andy Collins, previous coach before Mark Micken, coached me at Coburg in the VFL when I was 19 years old, and we had a pretty good year that year, and then he got appointed as the West Adelaide footy coach the year after, and then that's when I came over with him with a few other Melbourne players from the VFL. So,
what other players?
Ryan Ferguson, Shane Neves, Ryan Anderson. Yeah, they're the names that I remember. Yeah, that was in 2008. Yeah, in 2008, so my first year here, I played 4 games in the seniors, and it was out here against Woodville, and my leg got caught in another person's, with an opposition's leg, and I fell over awkwardly and broke my leg, broke both bones in my leg, and yeah, it was on the sidelines for close to 3 years. So yeah, so the broken leg took about a year to heal, and then after that I had a rod and some screws inserted into it, and they caused a bit of grief, and then I had stress fractures in my leg. Yeah, just couldn't get it right. I think I was probably a bit too eager to come back too quick, and just wanted to play, and yeah, that probably hurt me a little bit, and yeah, that's why I missed a fair bit of footy, but it's all good now.
So what did you sort of do in your whole year off? Like, you've moved your entire life and come to a different stage, and now you've just had to sit around for a year. How do you feel about that?
I moved back home for about a month. So yeah, I had mum looking after me because I was only 19. I couldn't drive, it was my right leg, so I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything really. So I flew home about a couple of weeks after the surgery. I lived at home for about a month, and then came back, and I was at uni anyway, so uni was good, took my mind off things, kept me busy. I did a bit of coaching, rehab, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so when I first moved to Adelaide, I moved in with one of the players for a week, and then after that week I was going to move in with Rob Day, and that was only going to be for a week with Rob and Yvonne, and then our house was meant to be ready. I was going to be living with Ryan Anderson and Dave Piasani. Anyway, 2 months later, after I moved in with Rob and Yvonne Day, we were still there because our house wasn't ready. So yeah, we lived there for about 2 months, Ryan and I, and yeah, created a lifelong friendship and bond with Robert and Yvonne Day, and yeah, eventually moved out of their house after 2 months and moved into our own house. But we still go around and catch up for dinners sort of once a fortnight. Yvonne puts on this 3-course meal for us and gets us around. So they're probably like my SA mum and dad coming from Victoria. So yeah. Well, Rob does the entree, so he prides himself on getting his some veggies and biscuits and dips and all that kind of stuff. He does that, and then Yvonne does. She's always doing heaps of different things. So roasts, lasagnas, risottos, all that kind of stuff, and then she feeds us a nice dessert at the end, lots of chocolate and fruit and all that kind of stuff. So we go out of the house pretty full by the end of the night. Yeah, so I'm currently living with Josh Schiller and Dustin Head, who are both West Adelaide footy players, and I'm also living with Richard Newell, an ex-West Adelaide footy player, who's now playing at South Adelaide. Yeah, so Josh and Dustin in particular, I've been living with them for 6 years now. So yeah, it's been great fun. Probably almost time to move on actually, but yeah, we've had a lot of good times together, and yeah, we're sort of best mates basically, I suppose. So yeah. So I met Tina about 2 years ago now. She was a trainer here. She was doing physio at uni, so she came out here and did a bit of training, and then one day we got talking via Facebook, and then and the rest is kind of history, I suppose, as they say. Thanks for asking that question. Daytime job is I'm a school teacher at Mercedes College. I teach there with Daniel Kerr, another West Adelaide player, Simon Munn, a previous West Adelaide player, and Sarah Brom, who is Adam Hartlett's fiancée. Yeah, I enjoy playing golf. enjoying having a hit of tennis, cricket, just any sport really. I love doing that, watching TV shows, all that kind of stuff. I'm a bit of a neat freak, so my housemates would know that about me, Dustin and Josh, but I'm a bit OCD when it comes to my bedroom and the house in general, so I'm always tidying up and whatnot. Before a game, I have to have my bedroom clean. I can't go out and play a footy game without having my bedroom clean, so in the morning, like a Saturday morning, I'll clean my bedroom, do a few loads of washing and just keep myself busy and then go out and play footy. We've just started going to a little cafe called Solar Eggs and having breakfast there on a Saturday morning with Josh, Schiller and Trent Stubbs come along the other day, so that's a bit of a new ritual, but yeah. Yeah, well, I suppose when I first got here, after I broke my leg, playing 100 games and also winning a premiership, the way the club was going at the time, we weren't that flash when I first got here. So doing both of those things was a fair way off, but I've managed to do both of them now, and I'm extremely proud of it, I suppose. So yeah. I remember at about the 20 minute mark of the last quarter, we must have been up by 5 or 6 goals, and I kind of ran past Adam Hartlett, and I looked at him. I didn't say anything, but I kind of smiled, and he smiled back at me, and that was kind of then when I knew we were going to win. And then he was actually the first person I saw when the final siren went, and there's a picture of us two. I kind of jumped up, and he's like this big bloke, and I kind of jumped up into him. And we had a big hug, and that's probably one thing that sticks out. Yeah, Bombers.
Do you reckon that swayed you anyway when you tried to come over to West Adelaide?
Because they're red and black. Not really, no. It was pretty cool, but obviously being red and black, and I've supported the Bombers all my life. I played on the weekend. I played on Steve Summerton, and I had a bit of a chat to him after the game. And I've always respected Steve, and he's a great player. And I think he's played over 200 games, or close to 200 games. So, someone like a Steve Summerton would be a pretty handy player at Westies for sure. Probably Nat 5. Yeah.
On the broken leg as well.
He's a broken leg too, yeah. Maybe I can give him some bit of help with it. Which player loves himself the most? The obvious one is Chris Schmidt, obviously. Ryan Willits maybe a little bit. Probably Schmitty and Brucey are pretty happy with themselves. I think Zach O'Brien ran out a few times in pre-season without a top on, so probably Zach. Schmitty's a close second as well. And Daniel would be a dead last. Daniel Kerr, because of his rig. Josh Schiller. He's the smartest textbook. No, if you gave him a textbook, he'd be able to give you everything out of that textbook, but when it's practical things, he goes to water.